Good morning, everybody. Hope y'all had a pretty good day yesterday and a decent night. I'm currently getting attacked by ants for some reason. I guess I'm not standing in the right place, but every day I search for inspiration to get my points and my views across. All these videos are basically just meant for y'all to see how I think, how I feel, and what type of person I am, and the way I would respond to crises or to bills or anything else. You know, that way you kind of get an idea of how I think. And we've had Robert Adderholt for 20 years, and we still don't know how he thinks. When we had a Republican president with George Bush, he seemed to be a Republican mouthpiece a lot. When Obama was president, he seemed to kind of concentrate more on Alabama's needs and this, that, and the other, but he still fought Obama a lot. Now that we have another Republican president, he seems to be like another yes mouthpiece. Like I said, he was originally going to vote no on the ACA Act, and Trump called him in his office, and after Trump promised him that he understood that poor people couldn't pay $1,400-$1,500 a month for health care, that he promised him he would take care of it. And because he promised him, he said that he decided when it made it to the House, if it made it to the House, that he was going to vote yes. Well, thank goodness it didn't even go to that or get to that, but he's still saying he's backing it, he's going to vote yes. They've rewritten it, and everybody's referring to it, I guess, as Trump 2.0 CARE Act or whatever. And all they've done is basically went in and they've made a lot of cuts to a lot of necessary things that people need. They've made cuts to ambulance services, whether they can help you in the ambulance and start working on you in the ambulance and doing stuff, you know, if you need stabilization and everything. Hospitalization, taking away people's insurance or for the hospital and how much they have to pay, making it where they'll have to pay to go to the hospital. You're hurt and it's a hospital. We got to help each other. If you're hurt, there should be no reason why you can't go and receive treatment. And if you can't pay and get turned down and get turned away, well, that's not America I would want to live in. Maternity and newborn care. You know, right now, our country is way below the standard on how long a mother has maternity leave to begin with. And, you know, that bond, the first few months is so crucial. But you see so many mothers that have a baby and 4 weeks later have to go back to work, or else the family can't make it if mom and dad ain't working. So you have a newborn in a babysitting situation or in a daycare situation that doesn't have that mother to cling to right then and everything else. Well, if we vote this act in, we're going to have even less newborn care and maternity care. Mental health and substance abuse disorder services they're cutting. Everybody has problems, and especially in this stressful world that we're having to deal with. If everybody was happy and getting along, it would be a whole lot less stress and a whole lot less mental health problems. But people are born every day with a lot of mental problems. And not just born with them, but raised and developed mental problems are a very, very big thing in America, and a very, very big topic that needs debating and needs looking over and needs reform. A lot of people have a mother that isn't a mother and a father that isn't around, or they're raised in a situation where they see things and think that's the way that life's supposed to be, and it's not, and they're not raised right. So they're either grown up and they've been abused, so they think that's the way life's supposed to be, or they've been hurt so much that they can't trust anyone. They're in constant dread, constant fear, because the way they were raised not to trust anyone. And that's never good. One that's real important to me personally is making cuts to prescription drug aid. My grandfather has to take medicine every day for blood pressure and for real bad heartburn. He was taking Nexium. Now they've changed it because Nexium's not doing so hot right now. But his just regular medicine cost over $1,000 a month. And he couldn't dare dream afford that off of a retired 74-year-old man living off of just Social Security. How's he supposed to pay more than he even draws for his medicine, then turn around and keep his lights on and keep food to eat and water running and TV, anything? How are you supposed to live, Mr. Trump, if you take away the prescription drug health benefits that are currently out there? Pediatric services. Daycares are expensive. It's one of the biggest growing businesses right now. And if you just do a little bit of research, or if you ever looked around to see about putting your child in a daycare, you see that it's at minimum usually $200 to $300 a week, and that's just somebody that isn't even really qualified watching your child. But if you don't have an alternative, what else can you do? You have to work. Your kid needs clothes, your kid needs food. I've always said I can go without eating, but my children can't. And luckily, somehow, they've never had to. Something's always come through. But it shouldn't be that way. Adderholt's never had to wonder if there was going to be food in his refrigerator. He's never been in the situation where if he don't make a payday this week, the lights are going to be off next week. So he can sit there and say what he has to say to become elected and be a used car salesman, but he's never walked a mile in any of our shoes. He represents this large group of people, and he's never, ever been one of us. That's a hard pill for me to swallow. Can he truly fight for our cause if he doesn't even feel the cause? I mean, it seems like he just enjoys the benefits of being a congressman. I've already been threatened by the Republican Party or by members or supporters of it that if I run, I'll never accomplish anything. My life will be worthless. I'll never amount to anything again. This will be the end of it. And I point blank told them, I said, I was born poor. I'll probably die poor. But I have my word, I have my faith, and I have my heart. I'm not going to hate. I'm not going to lie. And I'm going to do what's right. I'm not doing it for the glory of the money. I'm doing it for 2 little girls and thousands of other children that need a future that's a whole lot better than this. Finally, the Trump 2.0 Act, whatever it's going to be called, is cutting out research, lab research, and futures research, as I like to call it. And that's where you develop cures for these diseases. Things like Alzheimer's and Lou Gehrig's disease and MS, and muscular dystrophy, and HIV, and regular AIDS, full-blown AIDS, and cancer. I mean, cures can be developed, but only if you seek them. You're never going to get an answer to a problem if you don't look for one. And if we can't even look for one because he wants to take the money away that we used to look for one, how will we ever get any answers? This new act that they're trying to impose or trying to vote through, it's not a good thing. I sure don't want my representative voting yes for it. And if he does, he ain't my representative. And I honestly feel like he isn't any of District 4's representative either. I hope y'all have a great day, and I hope we all have a better tomorrow. I'm MB Wain. Change is coming. We got to do something, people. We can't just sit on our hands because it's about to get real rough if something doesn't happen. We got to do something. Let's do it. Let's work together. Let's make America great again. Like everybody says, everyone says that, but let's mean it. Let's not just say what we have to say to get there and then do nothing. Because that seems to be the agenda. I had hope when Trump was elected. I thought, finally, there's a guy that's not a politician. There's a businessman that can cut good deals with people and can restore jobs in America and can get people working again. I truly thought it was going to be a great thing. But so far it hasn't. And I just can't, I'm sorry, Mr. President, I can't take a promise that you're going to understand that poor people can't afford it, and that you're going to make sure they don't have to pay for it, and take away Obamacare, which has its flaws, which should be worked on, but is $100, $150 a month for the average person around here versus $1,400, $1,500 a month for the average person. A promise that you're going to fix it, to me, means nothing. No offense, Mr. President, but I would need that in writing. God bless America. I hope you all have a great day. Later.